Good morning, and welcome to my Astrology Intuitive Tuesday. I can't believe it's Tuesday. I can't believe it's been a ride, baby. It's been a ride. That's what it's been. Crazy ride, but it's been a ride. So welcome everybody for joining me this morning. My name is Mary Jane Tracy, psychic medium, spiritual love of life coach, and an astrologer. So I come to you every Tuesday to bring you the 411 for your sign. And it's an intuitive reading. It's a reading for the collective. It's a reading that is for, as I say, the collective of that sign. That's what it's there for, right? So I do my reading, and it is, I mean, if something resonates with you in this, awesome. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Awesome. So you got to trust, you got to go in, because sometimes, what I'm saying may not resonate with you, for your sign. So because there might be other things that are going on in your sign, or something I say about another sign that really resonates with you, because that's maybe more what's active in your chart at this time. Hey, could be. And so this is for your sun sign, which would be, most people know that's your birth date. Everybody knows their birth date, and then go look it all up and find out what their sun sign. The moon sign is where the moon was when you were born. So the moon sign, usually you get your astrology chart and you can find out where your moon is, or a Samaras. And then the rising sign, the sign is where what energy was as the sun rose. What was that energy? What was the energy as the sun rose? So like for me, I'm a Scorpio, and I'm a Cancer moon, because my moon was in Cancer, and my ascendant, or my rising sign, is Cancer. So yes, I am a Scorpio double Cancer. That's what I would say if somebody asked me. And that means I just got a lot of water, a lot of emotion. Scorpio, a lot of lava. So that was my coffee. It tastes really good. So yes, we're going to get into all of that. Just have to say, this morning I changed my coffee app, where I usually like cream in my coffee, but they changed the cream at the place where I go. And you all know where I go, right? You guys all know I go to Starbucks. So I had to change it because I love the taste of coffee. I do. So I asked the girl, I said, there's something, I said, the cream tastes different. And she said, yeah, they changed the cream, and the cream is very heavy. It was more like you're putting whipping cream in it, and that's just not my thing. So I changed to a whole milk in my coffee, so I can at least taste my coffee and still have that creaminess that I love. So I thought I'd share that with you this morning. So what's going on? First of all, before we get started and I start pulling you guys out of my lovely goddess box. See, I got a lovely goddess box. And in the goddess box, all of the signs are here. And also in the goddess box, I always keep it in with a bunch of crystals. There's a bunch of crystals in there. So, and then I pull your sign out of a hat. So a little bit is that today's a little bit nutty. So we got some gnarly energy that's coming in. We are upon our path, and it is kind of like a time to sort of take a pause for this. We have the sun in Taurus at the last degree, so it's 29 degrees. The sun kind of likes Taurus, doesn't really like Taurus. It's kind of in Taurus, but it's kind of a point where anything, when I tell you anything's at the last degree, and especially ones like the moon and the sun at these degrees can be pretty gnarly. Like it can be pretty edgy with that kind of energy. So we got some edginess, a little bit of crustiness, I guess you would say, to that. So a little gnarly energy that's with that 29 degrees. It's going to tip into Gemini over the next day or so. And it is a little bit, what I'm going to call, besides crusty, is that it's the balsamic phase is going to come forth later on this evening. And that's where we get into the real darkness of the moon. So we have that energy there. So this is about power, true wants, needs. We have the moon in Aries. So the moon is there in Aries, and that's sort of, the moon in Aries is, it's really frustrated. You got Mars there, you got Chiron there. It's get a little bit of frustration there. It really wants to get things going, wants to get some answers. And then we also have where we have the billionaire, poor person energy, which is that Jupiter with Pluto. So we got a Jupiter-Pluto thing there. So it's either you're rich or you're poor. So the thing is, remember, I always tell you, Mercury's going to tell you things. Mercury's heading along in Gemini. He's like, vroom! He's ahead of the sun, and he's looking back. He's got, I got information for you. I'm going to be heading towards Venus. So you will see Venus. You will see Venus just before the sun rises in the west. You'll see a small star and a big star, and that is Mercury, and that is Venus over the next 24 hours. It's raining like shit here. So no, we won't see it here. Maybe tomorrow if I'm lucky. So we have this energy, and Mercury's just flying. It's just like, I got information over here. And over here, we know that there's going to be something. We're going to be starting to hear more about the economy. We're going to be hearing more about money. We're going to be hearing more about what's going on, because Mercury's just flying around. He wants to give information there. And that's with that Jupiter and Pluto energy that's going to come in. So the moon is also going to tap into that a little bit today too in Aries. So the moon's going to be tapping into that energy. So as the moon's tapping in, the thing is that about Mercury's kind of like a tattletale. He's like, sun, look at this. Look at this. So he likes to tell people information. He's like, he's neither like, is it positive information or negative information? He doesn't care. It's just information. That's all he is. He's information. He's communication. Here I am. Boom, boom. I'm going to give you all the information I can. So he's just whipping along. We also have where the sun is trining Saturn. So that's bringing in some little, this is where I was talking about yesterday about the forward movement. Are you making choices? Are you really, or are you kind of sort of getting into that Venus squaring off Neptune? And you're getting into that kind of little area where you just, settling, or your values, or you're compromising your values. Maybe it's about your relationships. This is all about, are you making decisions in your relationships? This is where energy is coming in to say, where are you experimenting? Where are you allowing for things and trying something new? Are you trying something new? Are you trying to change things up in some way? Because we also have with that Venus, because that Venus is going to 20 degrees from 21. Neptune is stationary because Neptune is going to be going retrograde next month. So we do have that. And Uranus has reached a point where we haven't seen since 1935, 1936. So we have this first decade of Jupiter coming in. And with Uranus there, it wants you to try something, shake things up, maybe try, this is experimental. This is experimental. Let's see if this isn't working, what could working? Or are you going to stay in that because of Venus going into Neptune and saying, fuck it, let me just numb myself, and that's life, and this is the way things are going to be. And I will just sit here and wait until, everything wakes up. But this is like almost where you are, where there's a push where you have to move. It's like when a kid gets to a point where he graduates, he has to move. He has to leave school. He has to go out there and find a job and start to create his own self, his own identity, without that of the identity of the school or anyone else, right? That's where this energy is coming in. It's this little bit of weird shit that's coming in. And I keep on getting the crustiness of it, where it's like the end of something and it's really crusty. And that's that sun in Taurus. And is that what you want? And it's coming in with that North Node in Gemini, and it's saying, let go of the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I should have done this. I could have done this. I would have done this. The shoulda, coulda, wouldas. This is really bringing in experimentation and allowing for you to open it up. or are you going to numb it out? So there's, that's where we're at today. We're at this kind of weird energy where some people are going to just numb it out, and is that numbing out helping you? Is the numbing out helping you? Is the numbing out doing what you want it to do? Is it, are you staying in something that the time is up and you got to let go? So I'm going to move my coffee so I can grab it very easily. I have all the cards laid out. I'm going to post what sign we are on here. So we have where my name is, it says Mary June, or it says Mary June. It says Mama G Coffee Corner. I'm going to be putting what sign I'm going to be reading at the time. And down below here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide that. Boop. I'm going to take that off. And magic. So, and I'll put the sign there so it'll go across the bottom. So what sign I'm reading will be at the bottom so people can read that. And we're going to begin. So pull up had this up, but it just disappeared on me. Oh. I know, I'm looking at the chart, and that's how I feel when I look at the chart today. There's just so much heaviness in here, so much going on. We're heading for a new moon this week on Friday. And so we got new moon energy that's coming in. Wow. And Jupiter and Pluto aren't exactly on top of each other. So they're just like 27 and 24 degrees. It's when they get really close. That's when we're going to see some more gnarly shit happening with the economy. So who do we begin with? So here, maybe I'll just do it like that. I'll do it like that. That's easier. So here we go. We'll just do Aquarius. We're doing Aquarius first. So Aquarius. Oh, the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius. Saturn being in there. He's slowly leaving the house. It's figuring things out. And I feel there's a lot of confusion happening with Aquarius. I feel confusion. I feel confused when I think about Aquarius. So I'm getting confusion and trying to figure out what you want and what you don't want. You're kind of, it's like you want this, but you're not sure of this, or maybe your self-esteem isn't there, right? So you kind of want something, but you're not sure that you want it. And this is where the, Venus is in the first week in retrograde motion in a playful part of your chart, but it overlaps Juno. So it's in the last in retrograde motion too, and of adventure. So with these retrograde, this is about looking at maybe appreciation and maybe embracing that. But there's a little bit of confusion that's going on there. And I feel like you're not coming to your, they said, full senses with everything. You're not allowing yourself to really open up and saying, yeah, this is really what I want, and I'm going to open myself up to this. Or are you kind of like, oh, I don't really want to open myself up to that. I'm kind of afraid. And with Venus and that obviously with, relationships. And this is all also looking at where I feel it comes into the home life and the family matters. So this is where, when it comes to home and family sector too, is that, are you feeling comfortable where you are? Is this where you want to be living? And this is, it's like you got to know when to be serious and when not to be serious, when to sort of hold back. Sometimes Aquariuses can't. They just like, woo! And then they're all out crazy mode, right? And coming in all out crazy mode. And here we got the third house. So it's looking at your potential. It's looking at that of your potential. Looking at that, what is coming in. And this is where the third house is communication, right? The third house is ruled by Gemini. It is communication. So looking at that communication, and I feel like sometimes you're sweating over the small stuff with everything, sweating over all the little things that are coming in instead of looking at a bigger picture for yourself. So you got to get out there and you got to allow yourself some playtime. And with the playtime, it's like it's the lion's coming in. So knowing that you are protected, there is protection that's coming in there for you, but you got to harness that. Harness what makes you feel good. Harness what allows you. But, sometimes you're getting all, I feel it's like almost where you got to get down and just play. Get the fuck out of your head, Aquarius. Because sometimes you can get too much into your head. And that's where you're going to come to a resolution. That's where you're going to come into things. But the thing is, you got to come into your feelings. You got to come into, this is really where I want to feel. This is where I really love to be. But you're getting hung up on a lot of little stuff. You're getting hung up on and getting all this, it should have been this. It could have been this. Why did you do this? Blah, 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 blah. And it's just really like, crazy, crazy, crazy. And of course, the dolphin is. And the dolphins like breathe, sacred geometry. But what does a dolphin do? A dolphin is fun. He's out there. He's playing. He's like jumping up and doing things, right? He's having fun, right? So that's the thing, is that you got to start beginning to allow yourself to have some fun. Take up a hobby. Take up something that maybe you haven't done for a long time. This is also where it's like when you're doing that, you could be healing your inner child in this process, because there's a lot of pain and hurt that you're not processing. You're wanting somebody else to process and fix it. So then you're getting all pissy and overwhelmed with everything. And then it's just like, wah! And it's like, this is like Mercury's coming in and it's conjuncting, in here. And Mercury's going to conjunct Venus and angle over to Neptune this week. So it's like where you are sort of wondering about your money, you're wondering about how things are going, how you're, all of this is all coming in. And you're stopping yourself from going somewhere. You're stopping yourself from going out of the troubled waters. You're continually allowing yourself to stay in the troubled waters because you're just hanging on to things that no longer need to be hung on to. You got to let them go. It's time for you to start looking into and really taking care of yourself and maybe bringing up a hobby. Maybe it's time for you to really have some fun, but you don't want to have the fun because you're too focused on the little stuff. And this week, with that new moon coming in, it's about looking at the decisions that you need to make. You can make those big grown decisions as you're playing, because that's where the information is going to come in. So you know which one to do and when to do it this week. It is there. But maybe you're too afraid to embrace the love that's there. Or maybe you're done with the love that's there. And you're afraid to say that. But you say it in a way that is, sometimes you guys can be ruthless in how you say things. So with the new moon coming in, and it's going to trine retrograde Saturn, this simply tells you that you are never too old to play. And who are they to tell you what to do anyways? So this is bringing in a lot of playfulness. And that's what I got. You got to get in there. You got to play. You got to allow yourself. And that's going to bring down the ease within inside of you. Whew. Lots there for you. But you gotta be able to embrace it. And that's the thing. You got to be able to embrace it. If you're not able to embrace it, if you're not wanting to embrace it, then you're going to find it difficult to go forward. And then maybe you're going to numb yourself out. And numbing yourself out is not exactly the way to go. And the next up is Scorpio. Whoa, Scorpio. Exhaustion. Maybe that's just me because I was Scorpio. Exhausted. Tired yesterday. I fell asleep in my chair. I was just so tired. And Mateus, my grandson, comes and told Papa, he said, Papa, don't worry. Mama's in her chair. She's watching me. Mama didn't even. And so he went outside to play. Nobody was watching him. He just went outside, toodled off to play. And I'm passed out. And Steve goes, aren't you watching him? And I'm like, watching who? Oh, and I don't usually fall asleep, but I was tired, just exhausted. So this is where I got job matters coming in. I got money matters coming in. These are areas that are quite developing. And I just say that with such a big, that it still shows Coffee Corner as a main banner. Then the signs you have done are scrolling below. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, because I didn't change the one. So it's not the signs that I've done. I am on Scorpio. Because I didn't change it yet. There we go. That'll make people happy. So this is where I feel like coming into the Scorpio. This is where it's today more of a chance to check in with your energies, right? No, I can't explain that right now because I'm not explaining individual charts right now and that. So I'm doing intuitive readings for each of the signs. That's what I'm doing right now. If you need to book in a reading, you can. They're on a sliding scale, 50, 90, or 160. So, and then we can get more into it. And I have explained Venus in Gemini many times. I go over that often in my daily scopes. So here we come, coming back to Scorpio. Scorpio, get focused. So we have the next round of development isn't until later this month, but then once it begins, will continue to unfold for the whole second half of the year. So this is where you're checking into work and job matters and things like that. And it's just like you're checking in. Things aren't really moving as the way maybe that you want. The moon's first visit to our work sector since the South Node returned to our income sector. So that's why there's a lot to do with income. So we have the South Node in the income sector and the job front. So we want to bring in, this is where we want to feel good. This is where we want to get into dynamics and get into our dynamic energy. And with that moon and relationship sector, that's coming in too. So there's a lot with relationships, and I feel like Scorpio's like you're juggling, no wonder you're exhausted. You're looking at relationships, and it may not even be your relationship. It could be relationships that are around you that could be stressing you out. This could be looking at your job, and you're changing things around in your job. Job's changing, career's changing. So things that are coming in, but you don't have the full picture yet. Things aren't in full development of the way that you would like them to be. So this is where it's like, with this sun bringing in a solar spotlight on this, it's all having your eyes open and bringing things opening up for you. So there is some intensity there. And there's an intensity there when it comes like you're trying to figure this all out. You're trying to really do this. And with the sun, especially today, with the sun in Taurus at the last degree before it heads into Gemini, it's really trying to make it concrete, trying to get things down. And you're wanting, it's almost like you're trying to pack for a trip and you're just throwing everything in the suitcase and you're just like, oh, I got to get all this done. No. Instead of coming back, following your inner voice, taking that time, taking that breath, coming back, getting in nature, relaxing, allowing yourself to get a better idea of things and not getting overly focused or exasperated is what I'm getting with everything. So it's giving your inner voice, your inner wisdom a voice, listening to your inner voice. Our Mars is in our fifth house this week. And it's also meeting Sirius on the 24th. So this could make a little love or create something special. So there is this energy of wanting to create something, wanting to come into. Maybe there's some former projects or activities that we want to start. And it's funny, I've been really wanting to paint this week and get back into some painting. Haven't done it for a couple of weeks. So bringing in this heart and passion. And this is also where it's like, as you're doing it, then you can get clarity because you're listening to your inner wisdom. Then the suitcase, where you look at the suitcase and like you say, okay, I don't need all of this. This is what I need. It's like planting your seeds and where you want to plant your seed. And this moon, you got to start paying attention more to the moon. The moon's in Aries today. So yeah, it's bringing in a lot of like, anxiety. Maybe it's a lot of energy or excess energy. And then as the moon goes into, or the sun goes into Gemini, that's really going to bring in some crazy energy. That's really going to bring in some heaviness for you. And because it's going to start getting really busy. And this is where you got to really balance it out and finding that balance for yourself. And even as the moon on the 22nd, with that, a new moon here that's coming in on the 22nd, and it's going to trine Saturn. So this is a turning point. So this is why it's very important to pay attention to this moon and know that you have confidence to move on. Confidence is the key to the success. This is looking at what do you want to be doing for the next half of the year. It's like planning it out. What do you want? What's that energy you want to bring in? How does that look for your job or your career, the finances, and bringing in that financial abundance, right? So there is that turning point. And if you have been closing your eyes to your true feelings around someone or something, this could very well open them. And this is also where, we have a total of 5 astral bodies plus the North Node in Gemini. That's a lot of energy that's in an air sign that wants to get shit done. And that could be where it's like you want to numb yourself out. So you got to be careful about numbing yourself out, right? And numbing yourself out can be anything. It could be drugs, it could be alcohol, it could be shopping, it could be zoning out on TV, it could be whatever. There's a lot of ways of numbing yourself out. So this is where you got to come back into the energy. You got to come back into the groundingness and allow yourself to come into that flow of the moon. Know that you have that power to do it, and flexibility will come in. You'll find your personal power, right? And that's your solar plexus. Use your solar plexus as your headlight. Use your solar plexus as your headlight. That is your inner voice. That's you listening to it. This can transform a lot of areas in your life and bring in a lot of transformation for you and open up doorways. 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords. That means that you're still overthinking things. You're overthinking everything, or you're worried about it. You're over, you're finding that there's negative people or something that's draining you, that's around you. Pay attention. That's why it's probably why you need to remove yourself, get out in nature in some way, to remove yourself using this full moon. Have a new moon, not full moon, use this new moon as a way of allowing yourself to transform, using that energy of catapulting yourself. Making assumptions, not a good thing. Because remember, assumptions, what is the first part of assumption is ask. So don't make assumptions, right? This is where you're going to, when you key in, when you start to allow yourself to listen to that small voice inside, you're going to find that this is what I need to do. And then you'll get the information that person is my drain. That person is being that on me. So really paying attention to that. And then you're going to find the confidence to move on. Here you go, Scorpio. Boom. Boom, shakalaka laka boom. Boom, shakalaka laka boom, boom, boom. Boom. Sorry, guys. Just getting into a little bit of a crazy mode here and allowing myself to get into some craziness. Into the vibration. Whoop. Boom. Bear with me. This is when I do need someone to be my back end person. Libra. Libras. Whew. Very nonchalant type of energy that's coming in with Libra right now. Sort of like, meh, meh. Sort of like a meh kind of energy coming in with my little Libras. And what's going on? We've got relationship, South Node, communication. Time to take a test drive. Ooh, lots. Keywords that are coming into my head. Okay. This is about you really looking into communication, unfinished business. What is unfinished? What do you need to start looking at to? Are you communicating properly within your relationship, or are you not? And the moon is putting a chance to give you your emotional response with your relationships. The past and unsaid words, a voice up to the test. Testing things out. Sometimes the things that maybe that you've said, maybe you haven't said it all. Maybe you need to say some more things. 8th house, communication, transformation. Ooh, 8th house is Scorpio. It's also about boundaries. Are there boundaries that you need to put up, Libra? Right? Is there somewhere that maybe you've overstepped it, or maybe you've test drove something and it's like, yeah, I really want to do that, but you're hesitant to doing it? Yeah. So there's a lot that, we have some, good aspects with the South Node, first time since, earlier in the month. But the South Node is in an area for you for communication. The South Node is going to be there till 2022. And bringing this energy in for you to really look at your relationships, to look at how are you communicating in your relationships? Are you communicating, or is your communication one-sided? That's what I got. Like one-sided communication. Like just communicating about you, but not looking at what the other person is saying, and you're needing to have to take some time to listen to what the other person is saying in the communication. So it is about you looking into some releasement. If you're in a rut, it's time for you to let it out, soar. It's time for you to look to greater things. I feel like sometimes I think Libras like to hang on to things because they know it and they're afraid to try something new, right? Even though they are a cardinal sign, they are definitely that cardinal sign that wants to go forward, but it's forging a practical plan. That's what I feel like you need to do, is forming something that's practical that brings in the boundaries that you need to have, and having those boundaries and bringing in a communication. Here comes Gemini, but a communication that not only expresses what you need to communicate, but have an understanding what the other person is saying. And that's really important. And having, maybe being confined, maybe some of you are confined or confined to home, and you're wanting to escape. Man, there's a lot going on with you this week, Libras. You're kind of restless in a lot of things, and restlessness you're feeling, and you're thinking that this love is going to solve everything. And I feel like you really got to get back down and start looking at your boundaries and looking at some intense emotions that are going on there for you, so that you can get a clarity of where you want to go, and start putting those steps down and not thinking that person is going to be the one to save you. Ooh, dream time, astral travel. information could be there. So information could be there when you go into a meditation, could be there when you are able to dream. The dreams, allowing for those emotions to come through, is going to give you that clarity, that communication that you need. Funny, astro traveling in the eagle, flying high. Not saying for you guys to go on a trip, but maybe there is a trip there that you need to take, but it's not in the mundane world. Maybe there's something there that you need to let go of, that you're so connected to this world that you got to allow for your ideas and fantasies to fly, and you got to allow yourself to go into that next realm to receive the information that you need. Now, I don't, because you have a free pass thanks to Mercury there for escaping some of the routines that are going on. Now, I don't see, the thing is that you're trying to make everything practical. You're trying to make everything just so, but I feel like it's almost where I want to take you on a journey and take you through a journey of meditation, like a drum journey. I mean, I don't promote drugs, but sometimes for some, it's taking that trip that you need in order to allow for your brain to escape some of the mundane world. It's like if you go on an ayahuasca journey, it's allowing you to escape from this world to release what no longer is in your alignment, things that aren't working for you, and being able to have a clearer vision of it so you can move forward, because you are so stuck in this world, so stuck with everything and wanting it to be a certain way. And you are the sign that shoulda, coulda, woulda. Should it be this? Could it be this? What if, and then getting stuck with it all So this is really a time, and getting stuck with it, you're not going forward. You're not going forward. You're not allowing for your dreams and aspirations to come forward. You're not going towards your passion. You're just, no, this is just the way it is. I'll stay here. And that's not where we want to send you. That's not where you are supposed, it's almost where you need that escape plan right now. The mundane tasks and habits you've taken for granted, but bringing something there that is going to allow for that essence for you to open up to something even bigger and larger, and looking at a larger picture so that you are able to see and communicate and connect with a higher being than yourself, and not having it be all about you. And it's kind of hard sometimes for Libras, but Libras can be little assholes, right? They do have that sword. They want balance. They have a sword though, and they will cut things off or down or around if they're not getting their way, if it's not theirs. And this is where I feel like it's like, put the sword down, put the scale down. Let's get into something that's going to bring in some deeper transformation for you. Something that where you can connect on a deeper level and give you a better understanding of where you need to go in your life and your relationships, so that you can put the boundaries up properly. Then you can soar and be able to communicate in a more loving and understanding way. But you have to put the practical steps down. But I don't think you have, I just feel like there's just something, there's a big block there with a lot of you Libras. There's a big block and you need to release it. You need to release that block. Whoa, Libras. So much there. So much there, Libras. And I'm not promoting that you go out and just escape. That's not, just escape and just to escape for escape reasons. But what I'm seeing is that you need to really take a look deeper into self and how you're communicating, how you are allowing things to unfold in your life, right? Yes. Yes, I do. The soul lives on. The soul is beyond us. The soul is not in you. The soul is all around you. Leos. I also believe in past lives, so here we come, Leo. Oh, my little cats. How are you all doing out there today? Ooh, Candace isn't here. Candace usually joins me on Periscope. She isn't here today. She usually has a few things to say. So, Leo, Saturn. Oh, Saturn, first full week of retrograde motion in your relationship sector, and Juno, the last full week in retrograde motion in your communication sector. So Juno is the queen of commitment, and especially commitment to your relationships. So, and your friendships. So this is looking at, a lot to do with friendships and your personal and professional networking. How are you networking? How are you getting out there, connecting? This is building up something that is going to help you later on. So building up connections for yourself. And this will also be building up financials. So the thing is that sometimes it's who you know in order to get that job or that position. It's, connections with friendships. It's connected with other people. But if you cut yourself off from them all, how can you do that? And if you're being on your own little island and this is just where I want to be, then you're going to find your financial sector is not going to grow because you need others. You need other people in order to make money, right? If you don't have other people, you can't make money because you need someone, whatever you're doing, either to pay you or to buy your product or whatever it is. So you need that rapport in order for abundance to come in some form. But I feel if you're isolating yourself, then it's not going to come in, right? And that's where this is, coming forth. And we got the coffin coming in. I thought I was going to sneeze. Sorry, guys. But it's a natural ending. So there's some natural endings that are around you, but you got to take care. Take care of your health. Sometimes when you're on this little, I keep on getting you on a little island by yourself. When you're on your little island, you're isolating yourself from those around you, then it is frustrating. It is overwhelming. And this is where it's parts of you, it's that you have to start looking at a little bit of an adventurous side, allowing you to have some adventure in your life. And this is where it's where you're looking at your profession, whatever it is that you want to start doing, connecting. And I get boredom with you too. There's a lot of boredom that's coming in too with the Leo. So I feel like there's boredom that's coming in. And, two cards. Two cards came out together. So we got mutable moon. Nothing is set in stone. And what do you need to release? Oh, my God. How beautiful is that? So looking at that, maybe you are on this island because you have, it has to be this way. But nothing is set in stone and you got to release. There's shit that you got to release that you're still hanging on to, knowing that you are protected, knowing that if you want your finances and that to come together, you got to connect with other people and you got to allow for your light to shine through. Bringing that connection with God, your goddess, your divine, your universe, bringing that connection with the higher self is allowing for you to hear and listen to what you need to listen to, right? So I got friends, groups, clubs, bands, associations. This is, for you to start to exploring those outer sectors and bringing in those different connections that you need to start bringing in and not isolating yourself. And it's important to be doing that because if you want to have the abundance is going to be there. But this is showing me that you're blocking it all. You're not allowing for that to come forth. You're keeping yourself hidden, or you're keeping yourself where, what is your story around money? What is your story around your different friendships? And your ruler is the sun, right? And it arrives in your 11th house on the 20th, joining Mercury, Venus, retrograde, Vesta, and the North Node. Crazy. And the new moon is on the 22nd and trines Saturn in your partnership. So Mercury meets retro Venus and squares Neptune in your house of change and rebirth. So there's a change and rebirth that's coming there. You know it's happening, but man, you got to get off the fucking island. Right? And this is where I feel you have issues. We're talking about you, Candace. So this is where you just remember the planet of love, which is backwards. This is a time to start something new. This is a time to start and allow yourself to go into your inner self, to release what it is that you need to release in order so that you stop blocking the abundance and that of this world and bring forth what it is that you truly desire, your second house. Because nothing's set in stone. Connecting to that higher being, that godly energy, and allowing for you to come into that transformation. Remember, you are the sun. You are the sun. Allow this, and you are going to see new meanings. You are going to see new things. And with that sun, when you allow yourself to go through that transformation, you're going to see those hidden things that are, oh, right, there's something over here. Oh, right, I can go over there. But it also comes in with connections. So don't cut yourself off from everybody, because you need those connections in order for you to create prosperity and abundance. You need the money. You need the money, honey. So in order to have the money, honey, you have to be nice to people. You have to get out there and you have to communicate, and you got to be a part in order for things to come together. So it's time to be a power of dynamic. And with Mars and Sirius, in there for your money and looking at and meeting up on the 24th, Mars is an ancient ruler of that house. So saying the buck stops here could be just this is what I need to start doing in order to make the changes. And connecting with different people. So I feel communication with connection is very important for you this week, and especially with that new moon on Friday. Man, that energy for this new moon is really going to be crazy. Just saying, it's just going to be crazy. It's going to bring in some real, and especially trining over, it's going to bring in some real gnarly energy for us. So it is a moon to be working with, a moon to look at our what you are grateful for. That's the word I was trying to think of. Sorry. So looking at trying to type and say things at the same time. Oh, come back here. Wrote you wrong. There we go. So looking at things that you're grateful for, looking at things that you want to express more in your life. And this is what the Gemini is coming in for us to do. We are on Pisces. The Pisceans. Oh, Pisces. You're there. I feel with Neptune there is just wanting to get everybody stoned. That Neptune energy is coming in and it just wants to numb everybody out. Numb the fuck out, people. That's what it is. And this is where, with 3 planets spending their first full week in retrograde motion and another their last, there are lots of areas where breaks are on and nostalgia. So there's that sort of dreaminess that's coming in. And of course, Mars, here comes Mars. Mars is in there. Mars is like, where it's almost where he's trying to get through. It's like, where am I going? And Pisces are going like, what the fuck am I doing here? Is this where I want to go? Is this a dream or is this a nightmare? What's happening in my life? Feeling lost and confused. So there's a sense of loss and confusion there, not understanding where things are. The world is all in disarray. Why am I in this place? Do I want to be in this place? Do I want to be in this relationship? Oh my God. They are so like, wow, just let me numb the fuck up. And that's what Pisces will do. This is looking at home and family, who you love. Who are you with that you love? Are you with somebody that you love? Are you happy where you live? What unpins your sense of security? This is to it's almost like click your heels and repeat. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. But then you're waking up and you feel like you're in a fucking nightmare. Are you feeling that, Pisces? Are you feeling like you're just totally overwhelmed? And in comes the flowers. It's getting into your emotional side. This is looking at your strength. This is looking at places, feeling it and saying, this is what I need to do for myself. And I need to get myself grounded. I need to get myself back home, wherever home is. And not holding back. South Node, not holding back. Are you holding something back? Are you holding back on something or someone? Is there something that you're holding back and that Sagittarius is there? You're only looking into one direction because that's what Sag does. It's like one direction. And that's where the arrow is pointing, but you're like, no, I don't want to go in that direction. That doesn't feel right for me. This is looking at things that are coming up for you. This is, contemplation, a move back to somewhere linked to your past. Maybe you need to go somewhere that's going to get you grounded. Maybe you need to go back to a drive-by, and you can go drive by your childhood home, or you can, go and talk to some relatives or something. This is discussions around your future and looking at things that you want to start doing for your future, but you're feeling, I think with isolation and shutdowns is playing a toll on you and getting you really overwhelmed with everything. And when Mars is all about, energy, movement, action. But it's hard to move in action and hard to move when you're in deep water. So unless you have a nice ship. And Mars is usually a footman. So this is looking in and finding that confidence of yourself, that beautiful opal. It's a fire opal. Finding your passion and your fire, and you're just losing it. And I think you might be losing it with too much escapism with it, because this is what you want. You want marriage. You want to have that stability. You want to have that togetherness. You want to be generous. You want to have that emotional stability. But you're feeling that it's not there. You're feeling like you want that fighting spirit. You want to keep this together. But it's not. It's something seems to be missing. And so then you escape and you get a sense of a place or belonging where it's not, maybe it's not where you are, but maybe you can't move right now, or maybe you have to recreate it in some way for yourself. And that's a big piece for you, Pisces. Don't continue escaping. That's Libra. We gave Libra the permission to do that this week. But we did not give Pisces the right to escape. They have to be here. They have to be of sound mind to really get into where they need to go. They need to get into their prayers. They need to get into their meditations. Not meditation to escape, but meditation to get clarity, in order for them to find that sense of where they are, to tap into that feminine power. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, to tap into that divine feminine, so that you can start reaping this and the things that you sow. And what do you want to do, and start looking and making the plans of where you want to put down your roots. Whoa, that's heavy. That's heavy. It's a heaviness for you this week, Pisces. So I'm going to send you guys out so much love, because you need it. Because this is a huge transformation for you, and bringing in some transformation for you. Looking at any contracts that are coming in for you, looking at the fine print, it's going to be important. Okay. So sending you guys out so much love, because you need it this week. It's something that I feel like there's a lot of overwhelmness there for you, and overthinking. And you need to take some time out, Pisces, and just it's where to get into nature, to really think of your next move, your next plan on where you want to go. Is it where you are at? Is that where you want to be? You know, there might be the people there. The people might be there that you want, but maybe the place is not where you want. Okay, Pisces? Sending you guys out love. We're on Virgo. Virgos! My Virgos. Man, there's a lot of people escaping this week. A lot of escapism. I'm feeling. I think everybody's getting fed up of the isolation and feeling isolated. So there's a lot of people feeling fed up. They want to get out. They want to connect. There's a connectiveness, you know. And I was talking to a client yesterday, and she was. I mean, she's going through a hell of a time, and my heart goes out for her. But it is that connectiveness, connecting with people, and same with Virgos. It's like, yeah, it's connecting with people. We also have, you know, with Virgos, it's financial, checking in with your financials this week. I feel like it's also a lot to do with opportunities to regroup for you. A lot of with Venus coming in there too, looking at, because she's in your career sector, and Saturn in your work sector. You know, this is about regrouping. Where do you want to start regrouping to make the money that you want to make, to meet up? This is starting to relook at maybe how the finances, how the money's coming in for you. This is an opportunity to build on past efforts. If you know, maybe there's a past client or a job or somebody you talked to before in the past and you need to reconnect with them, it's a fine time to be doing that for you. So this is bringing in, so it can forge a win-win situation for you. Great energy for you to do that. And with Gemini coming in, with this beautiful air coming in for you, it's giving you, because you both are ruled by Mercury. And Mercury's going forward, and Mercury's going to be in Gemini. So this is a great time for you to really take advantage of that. Take advantage of that energy of communications to look at things and solutions, allowing yourself to tap into it. Good time for it, so that you can get a clarity on where you want to go. We got like long-term success, so the 7th house comes in. So looking at long-term, you know, when it comes to partnerships, when it comes to harmony, that's the Libra energy. What's working, what's not working. This is really getting the clarity for you with everything. And this is also looking at to be open-minded on how you can reap what you want to put down. So this is getting you clarity. So it's a real nice gangbuster week for you, Virgos. And the thing is that you got to utilize the energy to for it to happen. If you're not utilizing and you're zoning out and you're all tired and you just don't want to deal with it, it's not going to happen. So it's having patience with it all. So you got to slow down, change your attitude, and clear your mind for things to start. And when you do that, it allows for you to receive the information more clearly. But your Mercury is that are going on. So a lot to do with your finances, a lot to do with your career, giving you a better perspective on what is ahead for you, to increase your focus on your well-being, taking better care of your body, taking care better of self is so important, right? So how are you taking care of yourself? Are you drinking water? Are you eating better? Did you throw out the ice cream in your freezer and get rid of the chocolate and all the sugar? Sugar, I think, is going to be very detrimental for you this week, Virgo. So you got to really watch that sugar intake, because it's really going to do some more harm than good. So watching all of that. And carbohydrates turn into sugar. So watching your carbohydrates, right? So I'm not saying to cut them out, but to cut down on a lot of that, because I feel like you're not moving. You're sort of sitting still. You're not moving, and you got to get out there and you got to start moving. So this is bringing in your dreams and practicality. So in comes the Taurus energy. Practicality is there. Uranus is still there. He's saying, look, we're going to bring in some new opportunities here. How about some connections from the past? How about these people? And that's going to bring in for you to look at more long term, right? Bring in the long term, having that long term. And with that, take some time, breathe, imagination, quiet time, allow yourself to wander, get your clarity going, get your breath going. Then you're going to see things in a clearer way. Putting this down, okay? Because you're just sort of sitting there, and I feel like, here we come with the party girls. It's like they're not there. You're kind of in a slump. You're not moving. So this is where you need to start looking at your food, your routines, your activities, your energies, because we need to reboot them in order for you to begin to celebrate, because you're kind of being sluggish. You're kind of like a snail, just sort of sluggish. But you got this energy that wants to vamp you up, get you going. That can also be, where it vamps you up and gets you going, where you might be feeling overly exhausted. So bringing in that balance, right? Bringing in the balance that you need. This is also where it's, cut social distancing, where it's like you want to get out and you want to be around people, but he's like, but they might have something, just like, oh my God. People got to get over the fear of other people, right? And allow yourself to take time for relationships and get in touch with those from the past. And I think it's important for you to get in touch. There's information from people of the past relationships, or somebody you haven't talked to in a long time, and connect with them in some way and allow yourself to connect and that's going to bring in some celebration. That's going to bring in some newness for you. But it is, you got a gangbuster week that's bringing in a lot of energy for you in order for you to create something in a more positive way for you. And that is good. It's like you're in the motorboat and you are ready to take off, right? You've untied your boat. You're ready to go. Nothing can hold you back except you. So definitely take this advantage of this energy this week to reconnect with people from the past, to start seeing what's working, not working, taking, some time to breathe and taking care of your health and allowing for yourself to do some daydreaming. So it's a very magical week, I feel, for you this week, Virgo. So take advantage of it. Taurus. Wow. Oh, stop it with all the change. Give me back my old life. I don't want this change anymore. I don't want this anymore. It's like, but you got to think where Uranus is back in 1935, 1936. That was just a prelude to World War II. The economy was kind of, tanking, wasn't doing as well. Still, unemployment was high. So there's a lot of things going on during that time. Sorry. Coffee went down the wrong way. And I feel like you're, I got a bull in a bullpen sleeping. You're just like, I'm going to sleep and I'll wake up tomorrow and see if it's any better. I'm not going to be moving anymore. I don't want to move any faster than what I have to move. My bull gets a southern accent. Just not going to do what I want to do. Very slow moving. But here comes Uranus saying, no, let's go look at this. Let's look at this. Look at it. And it's like, I don't want to. I don't want to do that. And it's like there's this healing coming in and teaching and learning. So Chiron's coming in. Chiron's coming in there. And it's like, we're going forward. We got to get things going. Let's move it. Let's feel this. But you're just like, You're barely moving. You're in the nostalgia. There's reflection there. It's like everybody's on vacation except for me. I am stuck in my old bed. So this is a chance to get a better read of the doors of the past in order for you to look at what you need for your future. This is a time for you to do some really deep reflection, but not in reflecting where you taking your notepad out, taking your journal out, and really taking a closer look of things that have gone by, things that have worked, things that haven't worked, to get you a better sense, to get you some healing, to heal and release that of the past, knowing that you're protected, totally protected with it all, with those mountains coming around. This is coming in. This is bringing in your intuitive edge. Is coming forth to help you balance this all out, listening to that intuition that's coming in. It doesn't mean that you it's not just that you see everything, you got to feel it too. And this is where, it's not just black and white. There's many other colors of the rainbow out there, but you're getting yourself so stuck. And so this is coming in where it's saying, let's get going. And then we have this beautiful new moon that's going to be happening for you to bring in. And it's like, yeah, let me start to revisit some of my intentions. Let me start to look at some resolutions that I wanted to really work on. This is a week to have a conversation about not just money, but about your relationships and your physical well-being, and bringing in something that is fun, but don't undervalue it. There's a lot of value that's going to be coming in for you this week, but it's like you're afraid of it, or it's not what you're used to. And it's like, well, this is why Uranus is there. It's shaking you up. So it's like, it's not what you used to. It's something new, something that brings in a better vibration for you, gives you something more, and allows for you to be able to move forward, because nothing's going to come of the situation that you're in. If you're sitting there, it's movement, transformation. This is bringing in your worth. Yeah, there's been some crazy shit happening, some nuttiness and things that maybe you don't like. Yeah, we get it. We get it. But this is looking at things and parts of your past that there are answers. There is things to do with, Venus retrograde ruling your second and your money zone. This is about having some serious conversations that may need to be had about cash flow, how money's being spent. This is looking at things and really allowing yourself to look at opportunities that can come in with all of that and bring in that transformation. Now, I got the travel card. Maybe it's traveling to the mountains or the water or the lake. Maybe it's taking you to a place where you can go to. And that's the thing, taking the opportunities. Remember, this is the law, but there's always this sort of area that you can sort of get around it. So maybe the parking lots are all barricaded and you can't get into the park, but nothing says that you can't park 2 blocks down and walk up and go in, right? So that's where we got to start looking at it, so that you're able to get a new perspective, knowing that you are fully protected and nothing where you are right now will come of the situation with you sitting there and moping. You got to get that movement going, because you're being stuck by the devil. There you are. The devil is there. Booyah. He's saying, I can keep you here. You stay here and I will just keep and poke and prodding you. And there. That's it. But there's something better that's coming in. Despite the major retrogrades and the vibe in the sky, you have opportunities. There's opportunities. You just got to get out there and start looking at them. Maybe there's somebody in the past that you talked to, or somebody there. You got to get out there, but you can't do it if you're just sort of sitting there. So there's opportunities, but if you're just like moping around, not wanting to look at it or talk to other people, it's not going to happen. So open the doorways, open the newness. There's new ways of making money. And people get stuck on one way of making money. And there's so many other ways of making money. But if you're stuck and you get your head caught up in one way, or that doesn't work, or I've seen somebody fail at that, or whatever it is, but you know, when you talk to certain people and you see what they do and you love that connection, go for it. Go for it. Trusting in yourself. Chiron's coming in to heal, give you that opportunity. But where you are right now ain't going to work. Ain't going to work, baby. Ain't going to work. So, just saying. So, Tauruses, get up, get moving. You're going to have to change some things around. And I know you don't like doing that, but it's vitally important for you to do it, because in doing that is going to give you a better perspective and bring you some finances. The next one up is Aries. 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 We've got the moon there right now causing some little radicalness that's, shaking stuff up. And you might be feeling it a little bit more, Aries, than others. Because as the moon is slowly going into the balsamic phase, which it will tonight, it is sort of getting you into the recesses of your mind, getting you into a part of looking at the shifts, looking at the changes that are happening for you. Sometimes you have to get up and fight for something that, they say you can't do something, but I feel like there's a fight there that you got to get up because you can do it. You have the planets of love and communications working to give with your relationships of the past. So, of course, what happens with retrogrades always brings up the past relationships, past ideas, etc. And it's not to waste a lot of this energy. It's taking a realistic steps towards future goals. So there's energy that's coming in for you to go forward. We have, with the Gemini energy that's coming in around you, we got the sun, the new moon in your third week, and we have 5 planetary energies that are in Gemini this week for you. This is, including, with Venus retrograde, the sun and the new moon. Oh my gosh, it's like looking at your future, looking at future prospects. What more do you want? And I feel like there's something there that you need to get out and talk to somebody or get something or push something forward. And it's vitally important for you to do that. We have the 11th house, so which is social, grants, wishes, bringing that energy of transformation forth for you. And the new moon always asks you to be thinking about what you want from life and to set your intentions. So this is an important energy this week to begin now to start looking at what are your intentions over the next 6 months. What do you want to start doing more for yourself, physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially? Like, what is that? And looking into all areas of friendships, all areas of finances, all areas of spirituality. Where is that? What do you want to start setting that towards? If you don't have a spiritual practice, get one, because you're going to find that's going to help to keep you centered. That means meditation on a daily practice. That means doing prayers on a daily practice. That means journaling on a daily practice. And a lot of times it's like, I know. But this is going to open up where you're going to find the truth. You're going to find things and information. It's going to set you free and open your eyes. But you can't do it right now if you're not doing it, right? You can't see it. And the new moon sees Mercury and retro Venus conjuncting Mercury. So there's this new moon and Mercury and this conjunction that's coming in, and Venus is going over to Neptune and causes a little bit of confusion. The way to get your clarity is through the meditations and the prayers and the journaling. That's where you get the clarity. You can't get the clarity if you're not doing it. And this is where it's going to be bringing forth positive energy. So it's going to crack things open for you. There's good future. There's good fortune there for you. Your wishes are there. We got wishes. We got good fortune. But if it's like if you're ignoring your insight, if you're ignoring that part, your creative part, your intuition, and not listening to it, you can't, it's going to bypass you. So this is really truly a week of bringing in some ingenuity and a time for healing, allowing for all of that. The balsamic moon happening tonight, taking that time for healing, that is with meditation, that is with prayer, allowing, asking God what you want. Asking, saying, this is what I want. This is how I want to have for my future. Not just half-assed going down the road and saying, yeah, that'd be nice. And then, oh, fuck, yeah, I really wanted that, but it didn't really happen because I didn't put any energy to it or I didn't ask. So this is realigning past events and how things really were and not how you were told or imagined to them. This is releasing that. This is how it really happened. This is what I need to release. This is how I need to go forward and begin my future, what I want to sow, on what I want to sow, because it's the new moon waxing. Man, you got the energy coming in for you for expansion and for inner self. Intuition is the key. Intuition is your key this week, Aries, but you got to do the work, and you can't just do it this week. It's got to be on a continual basis. And doing it on a continual basis is going to allow for you to have things reemerge for you, have things to look for you where you're going to find a better place in your future and being able to go forward, because it'll allow for things to change. Can't change if you don't do it. But the Wheel of Fortune comes in because it's saying what was up was down, is up. It's going to bring in some change and transformation for you, because you do have the energy of your wishes. You do have the energy of this beautiful new moon that wants to bring in the transformation, but you got to do some work on it. You know, a lot of people say, I don't like meditating. Okay. Meditation brings in relaxation. Meditation brings in transformation. Same with prayer. Talking to God, having those moments. You don't believe in God, talk to the goddess. You don't believe in the goddess, talk to the universe. Talk to your dog. Whatever it is, talk to a higher being. It is bringing that and reemerging it. This is where the tumbling is coming in for you and allowing for that energy to bring forth the transformation. So it's a week of intuition for you and listening to your intuition. But the only way that you can listen to your intuition is by taking time for prayer and meditation. And that's where you're going to find huge information coming in. That's where you're going to find also where things are going to reemerge for you, Aries, and you're going to realign things. Things are going to come in a new alignment. And you may end up feeling you are being taken or have been taken advantage of, because that information is going to come in for you and it's going to say, wow, that's what I don't want. But you wouldn't have had the clarity if you didn't take the time to really feel it. So that's what you got to do so that you can see it. And then you can take the steps to ensure this does not continue and to make something new come forward. So big week of letting go and releasement for you, Aries, but it's a good week. It's a good week, but it's doing the work. Hello, Cancers. Cancer. Woo! What's going on with you guys? You guys are either up or down or all around. You're wanting to bring in some love. I got some love wanting to come in for my Cancers. Wanting to feel that love, wanting to feel something more. This is bringing in something, some ooey gooiness there for you. But we also have things happening with your professional sector, and we got things coming in with imagination. We'll be sensing that something has already shifted there for you. So we got some shifting there. We got the South Node coming in for you. But I feel like it's like almost where you want to get into some silkiness and some putting on some sexy underwear. And this is really bringing forth the newness for you and bringing in some self-love. And this is where if allowing for yourself to maybe open yourself up to some self-love in some way. And this is where it's new horizons, spirituality is coming in, ninth house. So it is Sagittarius. It has to do with the south nodes. So this is like, setting boundaries leads to release from situations that simply go round and round. So bringing that time in of saying, I need to really take some time for myself. I need to take that bath. I need to allow myself to get into this energy of me and listening to this intuition. And you can't change the past, but people can change. And the thing is that there is where I feel with that and doing that self-love is house cleaning. There is this energy of saying, no, I need to release all of this. It's about, anything that has been past tense or things in the past years that you might have been hanging on to. It's like, I'm ready to let it all go. I'm ready to move forward. Pluto retrograde with Jupiter is in the partnership zone, so past partnerships. Releasing Venus retrograde is also saying that, I need to let this go so I can steer into some new love, steer into a new venture for myself, a new partnership, and bringing that forward for me. But it begins with myself. It begins to bringing in my confidence and allowing myself to have that confidence and putting on those sexy underwear and that nice outfit that you really love to wear that makes you feel oh so juicy. It's coming into your juiciness, my little Cancers. So you guys got to get, it's like I got this purring cat coming in. I don't know, the Aristocats. Have you ever watched the Aristocats? The one little cat, little kitten, little white one. And she's just like, oh, and the mother is just, oh, so I think it's Zsa Zsa Gabor is the mother, and she's has this accent and is very luscious and look at me, even when things look despaired or things don't look good, she's there. She still has that confidence and that debonair energy. Things might not look the way I really want it, but I'm going to create something that is going to allow me to transpire, for me to extend and still be my beautiful loving self. And it is releasing the negativity, releasing what no longer serves you, and just saying, hey, I need to find the new me. I don't need any of that past relationship. I don't need any of that stuff. I need to find where I can soar and I can begin to dance. Spirit moves. Spirit isn't still. Spirit moves. So allowing yourself to move in that very luscious, beautiful way and bringing that lusciousness to you. And then you find the world comes in. That means that you are allowing yourself to go on to a new journey, allowing yourself to go into something that is better and gives you that energy and brings you into where you can deliver yourself from the past and give yourself something new, and allowing yourself to open up and to ensure this week you're not leaning to the point of falling over, or you're leaning to the point of other things or other people. This is where it's coming in to really have you really changed. If there's, taking a reality check and saying, have I really changed? This is really where I want to go. Is this really what I want to do? Or am I still hanging on to the old stuff from the past and not allowing myself to truly love and care for myself the way I really want to? Because then that's going to bring in the truly love that I really want and the transformation. Am I allowing myself to dance and express myself and release anything that is holding me back? This is bringing in to stay, to allow for yourself to, I think with this Venus retrograde, it's not to start something new, definitely not, but it's allowing for you to start something depth within your own self and to create something more in alignment for you within you. And bringing that in will bring in some realisticness, because, it's like, yeah, this is really what I want. This does feel fabulous for me. And this is what I really want to start to go forward and do. So yeah, so taking that time um, to do this is going to be important for you. Take that time, and it's going to give you that clarity. It's going to give you openness for yourself, and give you that openness for yourself, and allow for you to really see what you truly desire. And that's going to be pretty cool, I think, for you this week, my little Cancers. Now we're going on to the next one, and it's Sagittarius. Sagittarius is next. So we're coming into the energies of Sagittarius. Before I get started on this, for June 7th, for those who are wanting to join me on June 7th, it's an afternoon of mini readings. So we're going to be starting at 1 o'clock. It's a Sunday. We're going to do this in the afternoon. I only have 4 spots left. So just an FYI for anybody who wants to join me for that. On June 7th, it's an open forum, done on Zoom. It's live, it's recorded, and I do mini readings for everybody. It's $25. So where am I? We're on Sagittarius. Got to pull up my notes for Sag. Well, Sag. Yeah. Direction, communication. This is really coming in. Your direction on how you are communicating. This is bringing in adventure. This is bringing in, for the first Saturn will be spending months in retrograde motion, only the first 7 weeks in your communication sector. And Venus is going to be going into 6 weeks and 4 days into relationship sector. So this is exploring, this is allowing for you to explore past and unsaid words. Looking into the past, maybe there's things within relationships that you things that you need to say. So I feel like there's something that you need to say to somebody, right? And bringing that energy forth. I know Gemini's going to be last. I'm trying. I'm not even looking at the blocks. I'm just pulling them out, honestly, people. So love may appear to be on hold, but that's okay. Even if you're in a relationship too, it might be feeling kind of funky right now, but that's okay. This is where you, there's never been a better one to relate to love for you. So this is embarking on things in a new way. And even if you're, whether you're in a relationship or not in a relationship, this is starting to look at how you want to create a relationship better. This is where, this could be bringing in some unfinished business about relationships for you. This is also where you need to relate to the needs in new ways. Needs for yourself, needs for others. So this is really creating something that is new and inventive for you. And income Scorpio. That's taboo, baby. She comes in with her insightful, magical, charming energy. And maybe it is bringing something insightful for. Maybe there's a part of that you want to, that secretive and possessive side that's coming in that you want to start looking into, right? So there is a little bit of love, and partnerships matter to you. But this year, however, this isn't about this new, not just yet. Venus is in this retrograde. She's in that part of the chart. And I feel like sometimes you have problems with Venus retrograde, and Jupiter is retrograde. And then we have this new moon. So this is bringing in a lot of energy about relationships, but not necessarily new, but relating to in a new way, relating to things in a new way, not redoing it. So that's why Scorpio's coming in. She's going to just sizzle it all up for you and bring in that sizzle. And you got to listen to the information that's coming in from Spirit. Spirit wants you to have fun. She wants you to have some great time in your relationship. She's not, strictly, oh, you got to do this. No. She's Spirit. She wants you to enjoy. She wants you to feel the lusciousness of life. So bringing that in, this is looking at what's important to you. What's important to you within the relationship, in a relationship. and bringing that into it in a new way. We also have with, a balancing of it all with that Saturn in the North Node. And this is all to do with karma and releasing that of, karma has to do with how you dealt with relationships in the past. There is a karmic, how do I want to redo it? So looking back at 8 years ago when she was retrograde in Gemini, looking back 9.5 years ago when the nodes were in Sag and Gemini, right? And even further, right? Looking back even further, 19 years ago, what was happening 19 years ago, if you're old enough to remember. So this is looking at relationships. And are you, there's a new balance to be struck this week with them between what you need to do in the world, right? And your need for quiet, nurturing, and contemplation. So looking at that, because it's also a relationship with yourself and the relationship with the world around you. What do you want? How do you want that to be? And working through your fears. Oh, you got Scorpio energy coming at you like crazy. That has to do with boundaries. That has to do with investments. That has to do with truth. That's what it is. It's truth. Scorpio is coming in for you, Sag. What is your truth about what it is that you desire? And looking at that truth. Here comes spirituality, wisdom, humility. Coming into that, yes, this is really, truly what I want to desire. And looking between what you need to do out there in the world and that quiet nurturing. Looking at all of that and saying, this is what I need to do in order for me to live a life that is of more abundance and peace and tranquility, and allowing for me to receive that information and that passion that I so desire. But I can't do it until I tap into my own truth, my own well-being, and allow myself to get over my own fears, to come into my spirituality and how I can relate to the world around me and bring that energy into the world around me in such beautiful needs, wants, and desires. So much. Wow. Oh my God, it's 10 o'clock. I've been on here, an hour and a half. So we got 2 left. We got Capricorn and Gemini. We're going to do Gemini next. So we're not going to save Gemini. I just made a call. We're going to do Gemini and then we're going to do Capricorn. So we got Gemini is going to go next. And we're going to tap into that Gemini energy. And then we're going to do, there we go. See, if I've had a producer or somebody. So we're going to do Gemini. So, yes, it's been a long time with me being on here, but hey, Tuesdays are always that way. So Gemini, pulling you all up. A lot of energy happening. You got five planetary energies in your sign this week. This is about looking back, reflecting on the past. Venus giving you your heart a chance to do the same as you spend the first full week in retrograde motion in Gemini. So this is about looking, it's not about the navel gazing with Mercury. You are ruling planet spending the last week here, but this is looking at a full week of energy pumping you up, getting you going. But there could be a lot of confusion with that. It could be a lot of overthinking that way. You're heading into the birthday energy. So as soon as that sun goes in, we're into your energy for your birthday. So this is to revive your dreams. Know what you want to get in the next 12 months. What do you want to explore? What do you want to do over the next 12 months? Is it going back to school? Is it starting a new project? What is it that you want to start bringing forth for you? This is a new cycle for you. This is where it's like no other. For 5 planetary bodies, your sign this week, the North Node. One of the things being retrograde, you have Venus in there. Holy shit. And your ruler, who is still direct, doesn't go retrograde till next month, is all in there. So there's a feeling of looking back to move forward. There is, again, so that could be especially good for you. The new moon in your first, this is shining. Here it is on the 22nd, trining over to Saturn. That's in your ninth. And this is the same day your ruler and retrograde Venus meet up. Woo! They go to the bar together. And they're with Neptune squaring off. They're in the bar. Neptune's there saying, hey, come over here in my corner. They're like, oh, maybe we should. So you got to watch out. So there are answers to which lie in the past. Who do you want to be and where do you want to go? This applies over the next 12 months. This is 12-month cycle. Your cycle. Got to start doing it. Haven't even pulled cards yet. Whoa, the moon. See, the moon comes in. A lot of energy. You got to start doing. It's your moon. What do you want to do for the next 6 months to 12 months? What is that energy? They are telling you which direction to head for in your future, but you got to tune in and listen. I mean, shut up. And this is bringing in the divine understanding. This is bringing in clarity, allowing for you to radiate, allowing for you, starting on the new moon. Booyah. Love when the cards are in my alignment. This is where the new moon is all about your intention and something, your goals and your desires is intensely personal. It's important for you, Geminis, to start getting your shit together. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Where do you want to be in 12 months? Do you want to be living in the same house or not? Do you want to be in the same relationship or not? How do you want to make that transformation? This is what this is all about. It. This is starting to make those moves. And otherwise, do you want the universe to make the moves for you? No, you don't. Passion, survival is coming in. Passion and survival. Root chakra, your tribe, your groundedness, your connection. Is it being shook up? Is that foundation being shook up? Dare to reinvent the dream. Reinvent your dream, right? Stop getting caught up in the illusion with Neptune and the escapism. It can also bring you in clarity if you're not escaping in some way. You're talented, you're gifted, but you're blocking it. It's like, I don't know what I want to do. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll do that. No, it's getting clarity and saying, no, I'm going to do this. Fuck it all. I'm getting my finances in order. I'm getting my shit together. I'm going to do this. I got a year? Fuck yeah, I could do this. I got a year of looking into a new job, a new relationship. Maybe I don't like the relationship I'm in. I'm going to get it. Or maybe I don't have a relationship. Well, how am I going to get it? I'm going to allow myself to be vulnerable and be out there and allow myself to be the truly authentic, beautiful self I am. And this is the week to start it. Last sign. Geminis are just like, what just happened? It's called getting shit together. Sometimes we just don't want to do it. We'd rather sit there and avoid. And, oh, well, maybe I'll start that next week. Some of you have already started stuff, and that's fabulous. That's fabulous. Continue doing it. But maybe there's other things that are still holding you back, and you're hanging on to them for whatever reason. And it's time for you to let them go so you can move on to something better. Lots to consider. And I think this all has to do with how you want to be seen in the next year. Capricorn. Capricorn. Ba, 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 ba. Man. Trying to shake you up and make you change and look at things in a new way, but you don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. Shake yourself free and embrace. Feel good. Capricorn's heart, mind, body, soul, spirit connection, well-being, improvements in your work, improvements of your well-being are going to pay off if you pay attention. But you don't want to. You're Capricorn. You want to do it your way. Got to have it my way. Well, tough luck, little Capricorns. Things are coming in, and here comes Venus. She's saying, oh, baby, you know what? We're going to change some daily routines in our love. We're going to change it. We're going to start focusing on your body and on your mind and on your spiritual connections. In comes Venus, and she's got this little sexy voice. And she's saying, come here, my little Capricorns. You've been just sort of stuck in a rut, and you're thinking it's all going to be this way. But no, come on, honey. Come on in. Come on in. We're going to do some adjustments that are going to lead you to some big ways. But we know when we do those adjustments, it's like the Tower card. Oh. But it's only going to be minor adjustments, sort of. Work, routine, well-being, all coming in are matters of your dominant this week. This is where you could, your pets, if you have any, this could be the sun marks the sun arrival in your 6 daily responsibilities. This is looking at ideas and fine details, and Venus is coming in. It's time for you to focus here and now. Let's change some things up. Let's hone in on some facts, and let's see, and let's reorganize and become, I guess we got to do some things in practicality. But the sun is coming in. Open your heart. Sun is coming in. This is enormous growth. This is bringing in. This is about looking at your astral body. The North Node, Sun, Moon, Mercury, retrograde Venus in Vesta. So the Sun, Moon, Mercury is your rules this house. The Sun in Vesta, or the Venus in Vesta, is your daily routine. So here comes things that are going to shake up your daily routine. How you do things, how you want to do things, looking at things that are in much needed love and enhance it in a new and creative ways, and allowing that to happen with this new moon. The new moon also trines your ruler Saturn and also retrograde Venus in your 2nd. So this is allowing for you to deliver long-awaited improvements. You've been wanting this, but you just don't want to open the door. And this could be improvements with your cash flow. This could be improvements in many different areas. It is going to bring in at the end of a tough cycle that you've been on. It is. But the thing is that you guys just don't, sometimes you don't want to do the daily upgrades that include applying for what you need. Could be applying for a new job. This could be that you're pushing forward to get something better for yourself. This means that you need to reorganize and ensure that you're clearly defined your experience of what you are wanting and desiring over not only this week, but over the next 6 months, and really bringing that in and getting to the resolution of problem solving of what's happening. Maybe you can't get back to work. Maybe you can get back to work. Maybe there's going to be something new that's going to come in. This is bringing in talents and skills to a prospective employer. Maybe there's something out there that you are wanting to explore, that you need to explore in more depth. And that allows for you to come into union and contract with that of what you are desiring. It's there for you. It's lucky for you, but it's to refine your pitch and your plan. It's redefining, it's revamping it, but you don't want it because you guys get so stuck in your fucking ways. Not all of you, just saying. But be it simply doing something different or breaking free from that rut, this is going to, even if it's in isolation, you have the capacity to initiate change. This is initiating change that you are so wanting. And Venus is coming in there, and she's going to just disrupt things. She's going to say, come on over here, my little sugar plum. We're going to try something new. We're going to put an extra something in your tea, and you might just like it. So come on over, and this is going to give you a little bit more clarity. Gotta love when Venus gets into that little southern kind of way, and she gets there. And of course, my Venus, what I see her is just that long cigarette, that she's smoking away, and she's just sitting darling. She's leaning on the porch, and she's on the porch, and she's leaning against the pool, and she's just looking all sexy, and she says, come here, my little Capricorn, come on into my house. We're going to change things up. It ain't going to be too bad, but it's going to be some fun, and we're going to get you some luck. Come on in. I got some lucky mojos for you, baby. So come on in. This is going to allow for you to have the confidence to see things in a new way. Trust. There you guys go. Thank you so much for being a part of my morning and my morning routine. And so much energy this week and so much in Gemini. Woo! That's coming forth. So sending you guys out so much love. If you're wanting to be a part of the June 7th, let me know. 4 spots are left. 4 spots are left. So definitely let me know that. Also, we have, what else do we have? We have, oh, my readings are on a sliding scale. So if you're wanting a reading, 50, 60, or 150, 90, or 160, all on Zoom, live, recorded. So definitely look into it there. So thank you very, very much, everybody, for joining me. The order of the readings are all on the bottom across, and I think I did everybody. There's nobody left in my box. So they're all done. So come on in and talk to you soon. We'll have a blessed one. Thank you, everybody. Blessings. Bye-bye.